Yes, people, episode 39 of the Catabolic Window podcast. We have audio special this time for you because Jack, what's it called? Webcam is broken.
Yeah.
Obviously, ideal, but better than no podcast because it's been like a week and a half about a podcast. So, sucks to be you guys. Jack, what have we been up to? Why has there been no podcast, bro?
Well, I went away and then Luke went away, and that's pretty much it, to be honest. Yeah, I've been very busy as well. Yeah, just busy. You know.
Busy. Where did you go?
What?
Where did you go? What did you do?
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm doing a podcast. I've got to talk, don't I? I went to Southwold, over in Suffolk.
Or it might be Norfolk. I don't know.
Something like that. And it was lovely. It was great. We took the dog. It was my girlfriend and her family and little old me, and it was nice. I dieted into it, and now I'm dieting back, so I got like another week or so to go. It was the only holiday that I've had. Not the only holiday. It was the best handled holiday that I've had mid dieting phase ever. Like I always struggled previously really badly with holidaying and staying on track and all that good shit. And one of my worst ones was I came back 7 days later and I put on 27 pounds. Yeah,
Woo!
I know, bad. Yeah, bad. Like that was the biggest struggle for me. But came back from this holiday and I was only £6 up, and so far I've lost fucking £8. So we're swimming in success. Basically, we're absolutely swimming in it.
So going back to that first holiday, then when you gained those £27,
yes, Brev.
What happened there, and why did that happen? If that makes sense.
Yeah, so this is something that I'm very aware of with clients, and when you give someone a meal plan and you tell them to follow it rigidly, which is not what I do for reference, but it's, again, not what my coach told me to do, but it's kind of like, because I was like, oh, I want to be a bodybuilder and I have all these goals and I want to be a coach one day and yada, 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 back in the day. I took it too seriously. I took it all or nothing. And when you restrict yourself to, I have to eat this meal at this time, this has to happen, there is no other way around it, no matter how I feel, you tighten yourself like a rubber band, and you pull and you pull and you pull, and then as soon as you're in a situation where you don't have that food on hand, suddenly the world is your oyster. Off plan means binge, and you go absolutely nuts. So the biggest thing for me, and the biggest thing that I've done this past year, is be a bit more fluid with the approach to food that I take day to day. Like yesterday, I was dieting, right? Yesterday, I got back, went to the cinema. I was meant to have some rice. I couldn't be asked to make rice. Couldn't be asked to cook it. It was late. I wanted to go to bed. I had a Magnum instead, so I swapped it out, mate. And like stuff like that I wouldn't have done previously. But just by that small little action, just reminding myself that even though I'm dieting, and I lost £5 overnight, so that was sick. But anyway, like doing small things like that reminds me that, you know, I can have this food. There are no good foods. There are no bad foods. Basically practicing what I'm preaching. And now, when I see a Magnum, if I was untracked, I wouldn't go and eat every single flavour, because I wouldn't be like, oh my god, it's been a year since I had a Magnum. I'd be like, no, I had one in my mini cart. It's fine, you know. So for me, I think having a bit more balance day to day is good. And I still like, as well, by giving myself that balance. Sorry, I know I'm talking a lot, so I'll wrap this up quick. By giving
talk on a podcast, that's kind of the goal.
True. But I want to give you a chance to speak, mate. But anyway, so by telling myself, you know, oh, I can have this, I can have that, it makes eating my meal plan more appealing and something that I stick to more. And so now I don't dread my food and I enjoy it more. But to be honest, the main difference was just treating my diet like I was a client, instead of, you know, telling myself that it had to be a certain way or getting in my head.
I'm a snowflake. I can do it differently, even though I tell my clients to do this.
Exactly, man. Exactly. I just kind of had to sit myself down and be like, mate, like, you've got clients who have the exact same goals as you. Why are you treating yourself any differently? You wouldn't expect them to do it. And like, that was something that kind of, it's still something to this day, small aspects of my life where I'm like, I wouldn't expect a client, if a client came to me in my position, I'd be like, why are you doing that? You don't need to do that. But I'll still try and do it anyway. So Yeah.
Mate, literally, we all do it though. It's so funny. Like we think
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
special and don't need to follow the same rules.
Yeah.
It's just so fucking dumb.
Literally, bro.
So yeah, so fairly similar for me in terms of I was away for a week, and had a really nice time. Well, I hope Jack had a nice time.
I did.
But not be ideal if he didn't have a nice time. So we can circle back to what you did and the highlights and whatever. So I went away to, I'm going to say it as the locals say it, Madeira. It's, British people just butcher it and call it Madeira because we're dickheads. So
Oh.
that's basically true. So I went there to meet the girlfriend's family. Well, I'd already met her mum and her sister because they came here around Easter. So I met her dad, met her brother, got the seal of approval, I think. So that is all good. But yeah, enjoyed some nice local food. Christian said that I need to have Portuguese tarts pre-workout now, so that's fine by me. Just to clarify, that one is actually a joke, but I'm sure Jack is aware that that's something Christian would say.
Yeah, definitely. That is something he would say.
And yeah, mate, had a really, really good week. So weighed myself this morning, and I was about 2.5 pounds down from when I left, which kind of makes sense with what I'm sort of seeing because quads are looking leaner. Granted, completely different lighting, but it was basically everywhere I looked, my quads looked leaner, so it makes sense. And really happy with how it went. After my check-in with Christian on Tuesday, it's now Friday. He was like, bro, you've been tracking like while you're away. You don't need to do that. You're not going to eat like a retard. So like, I basically challenge you to do that.
Yeah.
So I did that for the last 2 days. Just sort of ate what I wanted to. Protein in every meal. Plenty of servings of veggies. Carried on having some exotic fruit. That was banging. Figs are so good, bro. Like the inside of them literally tastes like honey.
Mate,
it's incredible.
I saw you posting that everywhere on your notes and fucking. I think you put it on your story as well. I was like, Jesus, this man's going all in on the fig praise.
Mate, the fig protocol. That's what we're doing. I'm going to try some in the UK, and I bet they're going to be so shit.
Oh yeah, they'll be like fucking nowhere near the same.
Like literally, they just taste like the best thing ever. They're so calorie dense as well.
Are they?
Yeah, bro. Like bulk. Like I had 3, which is like 100 grams, and it's like 20 carb or something like that. And it's like literally, like, what other fruit can I explain it? It's like half the size of an onion.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, mate. They are dense, bro. So dense.
Easy bulk.
But yeah, they will make a return in the surplus for sure, providing that they taste nice here. So yeah, had a really, really nice time. Went around the island. I cannot believe how fucking hilly it is. Like I've never seen somewhere so hilly. And the road layout looks like it's been designed by an absolute child because it's drive around the edge of this mountain, then you're going to go through a tunnel, then you're going to go up this mountain, then you're going to go down again, and then you're going to go through a roundabout that goes about 4 different ways before you actually go where you want to go. It's stupid. And there's banana trees everywhere, bro. The bananas taste nicer there as well.
Yeah.
Because they're all actually picked off a tree yesterday.
Oh, I love a fresh banana, genuinely. Right, people sleep on fruit. I've been saying this for so long, but fruit is fucking banging.
Yeah, you can't be sleeping on your fruit.
If you're dieting right now and you're hungry and you're craving chocolate, get some fucking fruit in there, bro. I guarantee you're not eating any fruit.
Yeah, like if I was proper hungry in a diet, I'd literally just smash like strawberries.
Yeah, literally, I'd swap all my carbs. I've done it before when I was like really hungry. I'll take like 100 grams of rice. It's like 350 calories, and I'll just get it all from fruit. It's so much nicer. It's so filling.
So rest in peace to the bank account, but aside from that, it's good.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, that's why you got to get even frozen mixed berries are quite expensive, but get them in, deploy them in. I used to do.
Do you remember I was there because they were like had fresh pineapple as well, and they were chopping that up. Oh. And I was saying to Miriam, when I first started having pineapple, I didn't realize you could buy it frozen. So I was like buying pineapple, chopping it up, and then freezing it.
Oh.
And then it would all freeze together. So I've got like a kilo of pineapple in this big bag that's just frozen together. So I'd be dropping it on the floor to smash it.
Oh my fucking god, bro.
Oh mate, it was so dumb. I cannot believe I did that.
You and your little fucking block of pineapple. I can picture that, like post prep Luke.
It was post prep. To be fair, I was retarded. So
post prep Luke with a bowl of oats bigger than his head and just a kilo of pineapple on the floor.
You could get pineapple protocol. The bag never broke though. To be fair, which would have been so sad if it did.
I mean, fair play then. It must have been the right decision.
I would have been very upset. Yeah, and I was like, I can get it. Why have I not done this? But why have I not done this before? Why have I not just bought it?
Frozen veg in general and frozen fruit is such a life hack because just add it to your meal. You know what I mean? And it's like so easy. I can't be asked to deal with like courgette or mushrooms. Like, yeah, they're great, but you have to cook them. And I can't be asked for that all the time. Whereas
mushrooms are nice if they're fresh. Reheated mushrooms are so dead because when you cook them fresh, you can like literally roast them, and they're so good.
Yeah.
Apart from that, it's not ideal. It's really not.
Like my meal prep back in the day for like veg would literally just be like grab my protein source, put like frozen veg in it, and then let that sit in the air fryer, and then you're set. Lovely jubbly.
Basically, mate. So yeah, had a really, really nice time in a fairly similar position to you when you were going away. It was like 10 days after I went into a deficit and pulled off, I think, 6 pounds by then. So zero diet fatigue, wasn't really hungry, and yeah, still in a good sort of position. So these sort of 2 days, yesterday and today, have been spot on with the plan, aside from an additional Portuguese tart because they're so good. But I've just split that across 4 meals because I was having 4 meals while I was away.
Yeah. And
then having 4 meals again on my second holiday. I'm like, I can't be fucked to go to 5 meals for 2 days.
Yeah.
So it's just split across 4, and it's way, way easier that way. So yeah, it was all good. So what was the sort of highlights of your holiday? We can go non-food related and food related. What did we do?
Non-food related, taking my dog on the beach and seeing him play in the water was quite cute. Oh my god, I'm trying to think of anything that just wasn't dog related. I'm sure there was something, and if Chloe listens to this, she'll kick me. She'll be like, "Oh, we did this really nice thing together," or something. It was our anniversary, and we were going to go out to eat, but then we didn't. Yeah, and both of our anniversary presents were late. Oh, mate, do you know who Billie Piper is?
No.
She was Rose in Doctor Who. And I'm a big...
No, I'm not a big Doctor Who geezer.
Oh, I'm a big Doctor Who geezer. Anyone who's listening to this, if you like Doctor Who, drop me a message and I'll give you a high five or something. She, as a joke, got me a signed poster of like Billie Piper dressed up as Rose, and it says like it's got her signature on it and everything. That was her anniversary present to me. So now that we're moving out, that's going to have to go directly above the bed.
Oh yeah, nice and romantic.
Yeah, no, exactly. My anniversary
really sets the mood for...
Yeah, exactly. A picture of fucking Rose from Doctor Who signed. My anniversary present to her is running late, which is great. Anyway, I'm trying to think what else we did.
So yeah,
we'll swap. We'll alternate. I'll say my dog playing in the sand. What about you?
Non-food related. Probably. Oh, it's tough. There was 2 things which were really, really cool. So, at one end of the island, or like the north bit of the island, there's basically where there's a load of like old volcanic rock.
Yeah. That
it's sort of formed rough pools where the water can go into, and then it's been turned into like a bit of a water park. So that place was pretty cool to swim around. I jumped off like a 3-meter diving board. I held my nose, held my mouth closed, and I didn't realize how hard the water was going to hit me, and it literally just like blew my hand off my nose.
Oh.
My mouth flew wide open, and I like just inhaled a load of salt water. It was great.
Hey, that's technically salt water, bro. That's technically food related.
And then getting my electrolytes in, bro. Yeah, and then the other one, which comes to mind as well, is at the other end of the island. There's, I don't even know how to explain it. There's just like a really long path that you like have to walk through, but we only did the first bit of it because we were running short for that day, so I have to go back there and explore the whole thing. But it looks pretty cool.
Mate, sounds sick. Oh, I will add, we went to this old-timey arcade where all of the arcade games are like kind of fucked up and like based on a twist. So like one of them was the housing ladder. So what you have to do is like there's this ladder and you have to climb up and down it, and it kind of like automatically moves with you like a stairmaster. So you're like climbing up this ladder, and you start off at age 0, and you have to get to the point where you can buy a house before you die. And like you have to avoid obstacles like paying rent, or oh my god, I forget what else it is. Like your car breaks down or whatever. And like the whole point is
That's
the
a
game.
shit version of Monopoly.
Yeah, like the whole point of the game is like that it's really hard, and I died before I could get a house. But it's meant to be like a commentary on like getting your first house. I'm trying to think of what other ones. They all had like a bit of like political commentary to them, which was kind of cool. But they were really creepy and freaky, and I'm glad that we only went there for a little bit because they were starting to freak me out a little bit.
Oh, the freak out protocol.
They're like uncanny. It was like being in Five Nights at Freddy's. Like they're fucking bizarre.
Did you see them make a film of that?
Did I what?
Five Nights at Freddy's. They're making a horror film about it.
Yeah, mate. I'm gonna watch the fuck out of that. I know it's gonna be terrible, but I'll still watch it.
Sounds. I hate horror films.
Really?
They're just like, I just find them boring because it's like this is obviously going to try and scare me, and I just start laughing, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?"
To be fair, yeah, like I never really watched them on my own. I only really watched them with people like to laugh at them. So I guess I'm not really a horror film fan. One good horror film that I watched on my own, I'm glad I did, and it was really good and genuinely scary, was Hereditary. I fucking love that movie. That was a really, really good
What's
one.
that?
I don't want to spoil it. It's a horror movie. I like
Is
it
it about like something about parents and shit?
somewhat. I like it because you watch the trailer and then the trailer like gives a lot away, and you're like, oh shit, I know the plot of the movie, and then you watch the movie and it's actually completely different. There's like a whole spin on it, which was cool because I watched the trailer and I was like, ah, fuck, this has spoiled the movie. But then watching the trailer is actually kind of part of the movie because it makes you think one thing and the movie plays into that, and then it gives you a twist at the end, which is cool. And it's a very good movie, and it's very fucked up.
I love a good twist. I love a good twist.
Yeah, bro, the fucking M. Night Shyamalan protocol, even though that's not one of his.
Nice one. Nice. What about food? What was the best food you sampled?
Oh, shit, bro. You've been to where I was, so you'll probably know some of these places.
Hey, I'm so sad that you couldn't go to Mrs. T's. Best fish and chips on the planet.
Really?
There was fire nearby and it burnt them down.
Oh yeah, they're still up on. We were talking about that. They're still up on Google Maps. They're just listed as closed.
It's so sad, mate. Literally. The other. Did you go to Sol Bay Fish Co? Their fish and chips.
Nah.
Oh, mate, they're really good as well.
I had the. There was a generic fish and chip shop literally round the corner from us. I'm trying to think of what it was called. I can't remember. But it was
that the one opposite the picture you posted? And I was like, I know where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's decent.
Yeah,
There's the other one in town that's really expensive. The one at the pier is shit. The ones down by the harbour are the best ones.
Yeah. I think you're right. If I went again, which I probably will, to be honest, it was great. I'd probably go down by the harbour. Oh my god, mate! I enjoyed so much food in like reasonable portions. Don't get me wrong, but I enjoyed so much food there. I'm struggling to think of a few. The gelato place was fantastic.
Yes.
I only had
What flavour did you have?
one ice cream flavour and one donut. So I had apple pie.
Ooh.
Hey, it was great. This is what I mean though. Last time I would have gone to the gelato place and I would have gone like 5 times and I would have got like 15 donuts each time. Whereas this time I was like, I only need to go once to experience it. I can go twice if I love it. And I just need the one donut because I'm not that hungry. So I was very reasonable. That or the one of the fucking bakeries I was in. I think it was the Two Magpies, which I know is a chain. But
Yeah, Magpie Bakery is unreal, mate.
Oh mate,
We
yeah.
always get like quiches from there, and it's just like, it's just so good.
I got a normal sausage roll and a farmhouse sausage roll because I love a sausage roll. And mate, they were both fucking fantastic. Like, I'm genuinely getting hungry thinking about them. Oh my god, Christian,
Yeah.
if you're listening, put sausage rolls in my meal plan, mate, because I'll fucking devour them any day of the week.
Fuck's sake.
Easy bulk.
Easy bulk, yeah, great protein as well.
Yeah, literally like fucking fried toenails and whatever the fuck else is put in there.
Yeah, for me, so I think the pastel de nata takes the cake. It was like
What is that?
it's a like the Portuguese tarts that they do at Nando's.
Vaguely, very vaguely.
Well, it's like a jam tart out. Oh, jam tarts are so fucking good.
Oh, I trust.
Literally, do you remember? I'd always be the guy that would go in the cupboard. If there wasn't the one I wanted on the top layer, go to the bottom layer
Nah, you can't be playing favourites with jam tarts. Get out of here.
and take the one I wanted out. And everyone would get so annoyed. But yeah, jam tarts are good. So it's like that sort of outer coating, and then it's like a custardy sort of thing in the middle, but it's not like custard. They're just so good. You have to eat them. They're very, very nice. So that was definitely the best thing I had. Savoury wise, Miriam's dad did some epic like orange and mustard prawns. They were really, really good.
Yeah.
The bread rolls were good. They soaked up the prawn sauce very, very nicely. Then we went to this like seafood restaurant, and it just had like a mixed sort of seafood grill. That was really good. There was no way I could finish all the sides. There was an absurd amount of sides. Like they bring out, so it's like you order your main, and then the sides that come with the main they bring out in like a separate bowl and put them around the table.
Yeah.
And these like monstrous sides.
Yeah.
Like it was absurd. No way anyone finishes those. And then last thing would be like a whole oven roasted chicken. That was really fucking good as well.
You madman.
Yeah. So it was like one meal off a day of sort of what there was, still making sure there was protein in it and whatever.
Yeah.
And then the rest were sort of 3 normal meals. Is that fairly similar to what you did?
Pretty much what I did was I followed just 3 meals a day because that's what everyone else was doing, and I wanted to kind of have similar meal timings to everyone and participate. My breakfast, I would pretty much just keep like protein veg. I wasn't that hungry, have a coffee alongside. And then we would stop off for lunch. And pretty much my approach was whatever I see and I like, go for the one that looks like it's going to be the most filling and have the highest protein content. So for example, we stopped off at this breakfast place and there was like these small portions of like French toast and bacon and honey, and I was like, that looks cool, but actually there's like this spinach, bacon and smoked bean like kind of pie thing. It wasn't really a pie, but I don't know how else to describe it, but I was like, that looks so much more filling.
Yeah.
Because if I eat some French toast, it's just gonna like, it was a tiny portion. I was like, that's just gonna ramp my hunger up, and it's got like no protein in it. So
That's not. Yeah.
yeah, pretty much in kind of, I guess, intuitive eating is how you would describe it.
Oh yeah, intuitive. That's good.
Yeah.
I intuitively need a whole pack of donuts, so I'm going to eat them.
Exactly, mate. I just know my body needs it.
Needs the energy.
Needs
Oh
it.
yeah. Right, we've rambled for like 25 minutes, so I reckon we have a quick discussion of what we would advise clients to do going into holidays, and then we wrap this bad boy up. How does that sound to you?
Yeah, mate. Sounds fucking sick, lad.
Okay, 6. So first sort of thing I think that makes sense to discuss is what are they doing leading into the holiday? Are they in a surplus? Are they in a deficit? How would we sort of map that out to reduce the likelihood of it's turning into a binge fest?
Absolutely. I think, to be honest, the main thing for me isn't necessarily... Yeah, of course it is like what phase they're in, but also just where their appetite's at. So say you're going in to a... Say you're dieting and you're going into a holiday. If your appetite's fucking crap, then I might not even be that concerned. You know, just making sure that you tell them to get in some protein, get in a little bit of veg, drink plenty, and they'll probably just auto-regulate the rest. Or say if you've got someone who's bulking and their appetite is super high, and for whatever reason they're struggling to put on weight, or you're okay with a bit more fat gain, maybe you've just come out of a dieting phase, you want to put a bit of fat on or whatever, then just telling them to, like, you know, just eat until they're full is going to be fine. I think, to be honest, just knowing where their head's at, knowing where their appetite's at, if they're in a diet, which is normally where most people are going into a holiday, I normally pull them out the diet around 3 to 4 weeks away. If their appetite is quite high, I'll aim to get the diet wrapped up so that then I can put them into a maintenance phase and kind of kill their appetite a little bit, and also get them eating a bit more off plan and practicing eating off plan and seeing that, hey, you know, when you have 3, 4, 5 meals a day, when you have a little pizza instead of your chicken and rice, you're absolutely fine. It still balances out, you know.
Yeah, I still came down. I still came back a couple of pounds down,
Yeah.
and you were a few pounds up that you pulled off within a few days of being back. So it's like well worth the time off and enjoying it to come back in that sort of state. But yeah, mate, you pretty much nailed it there. Like, you don't want to be literally dieting into the week that you're going away, increasing that level of food focus, increasing the amount of fatigue you've got, because you're just going to be in a situation where it's so easy to say, well, I've been so strict for this long, I might as well just like enjoy myself now.
Yeah.
And the off-plan thing as well, and practicing that is so important. Like, the first one that clients have, they usually fuck up a bit. They're like, okay, I
100%.
probably did it a little bit there. Like, I had a main, a dessert, and then I carried on eating when I got home. It's like, okay, cool, that's something to note for next time. And then a few months down the line, they're in a position where they can look at what they want to have. They can decide how much of it is going to be sort of quote unquote worth it based on their goals.
Yeah.
And they've learned how to stop when they are actually full and not just think like, oh yeah, I'm just going to eat more and more and more.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. 100%. I think, you know, just knowing as well that potentially, say, if we talk about where I was going into the holiday, I was quite hungry. I wasn't eating a lot, and I was doing a lot of cardio and steps. For me to maintain that body weight or even see a drop, I'd have to have been very, very hungry, very, very food focused, and very, very active on the holiday, which could have happened. Maybe I was just like out and about all day, every day, and just didn't eat. But I knew going into the holiday that realistically body weight is going to go up, because when I'm on holiday, I don't want to feel like I'm dieting. I'm going to try and keep myself a bit more full. And I know that I'm not going to be doing my, like, whatever, I forget how many minutes of cardio I was on then. It's dropped since. I think it was like 60 minutes across 3 or 4 days or something silly. But like that's not going to happen.
Like 60 minutes, like 3 days a week.
Yeah, it was 20 minutes post-workout, and then I think 20 or 30 fasted. I've now swapped that to steps, and I keep the 20 post-workout. I forget what it was. We swapped it out because I was getting a little bit of like a knee pang. And I was only doing like 10k steps. But anyway, the point is, I knew that like to keep up that rate of loss was going to be unsustainable on holiday. Like, I'd have had to say no to so many things. It just wouldn't have happened. So being comfortable with the idea that, hey, you know, it's fine, it's a holiday, it's, you know, not the end of the world, I'm still in good nick, I'm still in good shape, I'm happy with where I'm at, I know that body weight will go up, that's absolutely fine, and then I can just get it off when it's gone. Remember that ultimately body fat is temporary. If you put it on, you can take it off, and I think people get a little bit too skittish, even if they just put on body fat for the week, you know, sometimes, and I know it can be hard, but remember that at the end of the day, it is just a bit of energy storage, and we can just get rid of it.
Yeah, for sure. Like, how long did it take you to pull off those? Was it 27 pounds? You said.
The 27 pounds, I think, was a week to 2 weeks of being back in the deficit. But if you're going back into a deficit, it will happen rapidly, because you've gone from eating like whatever 4, 5, 6,000 potentially calories every day to eating like 2.5 to maybe even lower. You know, things travel and move quite quickly. I think it's harder if you've put on a good chunk and then you're going back into a surplus, but things can drop off a little bit. But yeah, you will very, very quickly, things will click right back into place. And another thing to mention, and then I'll let Luke talk, is that scale weight is influenced by your lifestyle factors. So when are you eating? What are you eating? When do you go to bed? What time do you wake up? When do you weigh in? Do you use the toilet beforehand? When do you do your activity, your expenditure? There's a lot that goes on in the scale. It's not just a measure of how fat or skinny or muscular you are. So it's possible to go on a holiday, eat the exact same calories, get the exact same food in and the exact same expenditure, but have your scale weight be vastly different when you get back, just because you've been in a completely different routine. And that means that you get in a completely different weigh-in. You know, you could give someone the same calories and macros, and, you know, if me and Luke wanted to, we could massively, and maybe it would be fun to do one day, just reshuffle our food and reshuffle when we do things and get like a massively different weigh-in, just to prove that, hey, you know, sometimes this happens just because of when you do things or kind of how you do things.
Yeah, for sure. Like something I always say to clients when they go back up to maintenance after a fat loss phase is like, if body weight increases, like don't panic. You're eating however much more like grams of food. That fucking weighs something. Like you've just weighed it out on a scale,
Yeah.
so you know it weighs something. And if the scale's a bit higher for a couple of days, like it's absolutely fine.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, like even it might be that before you come back on holiday, you have a nice big evening meal. You wouldn't normally be up that late because you normally have work or something. Then you go to bed a bit late, and then you're waking up a little bit later. Or maybe you had some alcohol, and then your body weight comes down. You know, you're in a completely different routine, and so the normal kind of consistency of like Luke mentioned, of how much food is in your stomach, and how much did you do yesterday and when did you do it, is completely out of whack. So you're comparing a body weight that you've got now off of a completely different routine to one that you had previously, where every single week was a pretty similar routine. So again, it's kind of almost pointless me saying I was 6 pounds up, because it's like, well, I could have been the exact same body weight, I could have been in the exact same body. It's just that 6 pounds difference on the scale because of how I'd been, you know, living basically.
Yeah, and another big factor that would have played into it, more so for me, is how hot it is there.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Like, drinking way more water. Like, it was ridiculous. I was freezing like a 1.5 litre bottle of water and probably having like 6 of those a day.
Jesus, man.
It was just so hot all the time because it was like borderline 30 degrees.
And you probably weren't...
So, yeah, it's going to have another effect on things there.
Yeah, and you probably weren't tracking your salt intake, and your carbohydrate intake also wouldn't have been standardised, so water levels definitely would have been fluctuating compared to normal.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm feeling sort of really confident about how the next sort of couple of days away is going to go, and then it is back to business.
Oh, back to
Usual
dining.
shit.
What's the
How
plan?
are you feeling after a fair bit of a sort of break from work?
It wasn't really that much of a break from work, I'm not going to lie. It was a little bit more stressful than I'd wanted to on the work front, just because I didn't like not being there for my clients, even though they weren't expecting it. People still send you messages and they don't expect you to respond, but it nags at me that there's messages there that I'm just like, I would literally be there and I'd have to remind myself, I'd be like, what am I doing? I'm walking down the street, there's a phone in my pocket, there's people waiting for a response, you have nothing better to do, like, what are you doing? Why are you not responding? You know, I'd be sat in a cafe eating a sandwich, and I'd be like, literally respond to your clients, what are you doing? You're not even busy. It's not as if you're doing any, like, if I'm on the podcast or if I'm filming or on a call, I don't mind not responding to people because I'm doing something. But if I'm sat there on my arse, I might respond to them. And I'd have to remind myself, I'd be like, no, like I'm with people around me. I need to stay present. These are people that I normally don't see because I'm on my phone. And I need to make sure that I'm present and with them, and that client isn't expecting a reply, so you can reply later, especially since I pre them and make sure that it's not urgent. If it's urgent, I was on it. But yeah, so it was almost more stressful by not like having my routine in place. But I think it did me some good, you know. What about you, mate?
So with being in a different country, you know how things work with like the phone and that sort of thing. Like you have to strip a signal or whatever. And I was going to do that, and then I thought, okay, if I physically don't have any signal while I'm out,
yeah,
I can't do anything on my phone.
Yeah.
So I'm out and I'm enjoying the day and like not really focused on that. And then I respond to the messages when I get back. So I'd respond to any in the morning, I'd respond to some in the evening. If I was there in the middle of the day, then I'd respond then. So it was like 2 or 3 times a day, and there was never anything so urgent that it was like, oh fuck, I should have been able to respond to that, if you get what I mean. Because I sort of prefaced it previously, I put together a little video like saying we're still going to be doing check-ins. This is going to be the best time to message me, so do it then if you need a quick response and that sort of thing. Yeah, and it all worked out fairly well. I think I'm going to do a fairly similar thing while I'm in Southwold as well, because I'm actually going there. I don't know if we said that earlier, but yeah, I'm actually going there tomorrow. So I'll probably just turn my data off or something like that, and it should be all good. I think that worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I think definitely like being able to have that switch off time is good. But equally at the same time on that holiday, me and Chloe were looking for a place together. So it was a lot of like calling different estate agents and house hunting and sorting all that, which was interesting to get done. But it is what it is. I think overall I definitely worked a lot less than I would have if it was like a standard week. But I did miss it by the end, which is probably a good place to be, where by the end of your holiday you're like missing what you do day to day. And it
was a good sign.
I definitely missed my eating having a bit of purpose, if that makes sense. Like, kind of, it felt a bit arbitrary eating, which is probably like something I'd be fine with later on. But since I'm like, running online coaching and like telling people like, oh yeah, let's do this, like making changes to people's nutrition, I'd be there and I'd be like, I'm off to go eat a sandwich and I've got no idea what's in it, and I'm just gonna like, it's felt a bit weird to just kind of eat for the sake of eating, especially because sometimes I'd be eating on like obviously off plan, but I'd be like, I'm not massively keen on this meal. I'd rather just have something that's like what I would make, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you mean. There's some like that's why I was happy to have sort of my normal meals, some of the meals throughout the day, and enjoyed doing that. So yeah, it was a pretty successful time. So another one, going away tomorrow, back on Tuesday, and then it is back to the grind, bro, the usual grind.
Hey, we love to see it. How many weeks you got left dieting? I didn't ask.
Until I'm not a fat cunt.
Oh, so what?
Yeah, basically. Maybe, so what am I, 163 now? Yeah. Sub 150, I reckon.
Sub 150? Damn.
Yeah, I'd like to be, and that would make it, no. Wait, am I 163? Yeah. Yeah, I was 160. I literally said this earlier. The listeners are going to be like, this guy's retarded. He doesn't even know how much he weighs. And now my sheets won't load. So I'm like almost 10 pounds down now.
Yeah.
So it'd be almost 25 by the time I get to that, which would be sort of a good amount to pull off.
That is a good chunk, man. That's pretty much dead on for what you want in a mini cut.
Yeah, like I need to be hungry and really hungry at the end of a mini cut in order to be able to be in a surplus for any sort of extended period of time, because my appetite just hates me.
Yeah.
No ideal, but it is what it is.
I'm pushing up in around 2 weeks' time. Appetite isn't crazy. It's pretty average. But I'm kind of okay with that. This push-up will probably be one where I don't get incredibly diced going into it, and I'm kind of looking forward to it because all my other mini cuts have been quite hellish. Granted, this one hasn't exactly been smooth sailing, but it's nice to kind of not get fucking silly with my leanness to then push up. But yeah, Christian at the helm, so I'm just going to follow whatever he says. He said to me already, he was like, you're probably lean enough now for a push-up. And I was like, interesting. I'm not sure, but we'll see.
Yeah, you've got a good chunk off.
I have, yeah. But he's like 2 more weeks and then we'll push up. But literally, overnight, last night, I dropped 5 pounds. So after my scale weight's stalling for ages, so I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I sent it to him and he was like, sick, cool. So I'm low-key hoping that the push-up can begin earlier, but we'll see.
Fair play. Sounds good, bro. So you have to update us all next week when we record the podcast.
Yeah, with Face. Incredible.
With Face. Are you going to have your cam back by then?
My what?
Are you going to have a working face cam by then?
Yeah.
Oh, sick. Sound, bro.
It's just today.
Right. I reckon we wrap it there. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. If you have made it this far, take a screenshot, share it on your story, all of that good stuff. We also don't have too many reviews of the podcast, so if you could go and give the podcast a review, that would be absolutely lovely.
Yeah, if you like it, support it, show it. It helps us out, and it's like 5 seconds of your day, so you've got no excuse, mate.
Yeah, it would be poor from you if you don't review it, to be fair.
It would be really sad. We know when you don't review it, and we cry a little bit.
Oh my days. Right, see you later, bro.
See you, man. Have a good one.